Hi, and welcome back to Normski TV, another Transfer Daily. And guess what? Yeah, we're going to be talking again about Gabriel Magalhaes. And there's so many kind of different stories out there with regards to whether, he's had his medical, he's signed. I mean, media is saying that in today's media, a lot of media outlets are saying that he's had his medical, looking to announce his deal next week, possibly Monday. And, if that is true, then great stuff. First of all, let me look at the Sun. I mean, okay, if you want to take these guys serious or not, but they did come out and say that Arsenal are on the brink of completing their swoop for Gabriel. And they're saying basically Kalidou Koulibaly agreed to join Man City, and this is according to reports. Now we know we've been chasing Gabriel for a while now, and hopefully we've got him, and he will, look to plug that hole where our defence has been lacking. Now it seems as if Napoli have turned their attention to another defender, and his name is Makola Matvenko. So this seems then that the likelihood is that Napoli looks like they're out of the race, even though we keep hearing stories that they are still going to try and pursue him, even though they know that he's probably on the brink of signing, but they're still looking to try and see if they can hijack the deal. But I personally believe that the deal has already been done. I mean, there's stories coming out that he hasn't had his medical, and I'll read another publication from the French media about the fact that he hasn't had his medical, but he is close to signing. It's not when, but if, when the announcement is made. So, the news today is that he is an Arsenal. Well, he has his medical, and he is an Arsenal player. So it's very much up in the air, and I think for me, it's just about once we hear that he's up. First of all, once we see him holding that shirt and that he's signed, and it comes out on the Sky Sports or wherever you want it, and we start seeing loads of pictures of him on social media, then hopefully we can say, great, he's finally done it. So the Sun is reporting that we're clear favourites to have him and get him. As I said, it's a matter of when, but not if. So let's wait and see. But there was another publication that I was reading, and this is coming out of the French media outlet RMC Sport. A guy tweeted, Mohamed Boussafi, and he said Gabriel's he's not going to play tonight due to his impending transfer. His entourage have denied any medical examinations taking place. Lille do not want to complete a deal on match day, which is obviously today. His entourage and Lille deny a total agreement, but it is close with Arsenal. So that's technically what's coming out of their camp. But they are quite confident that this deal will go through. But it's just so many different conflicting stories of whether he's had his medical or not. I don't know if it's to do with the issue with the fact that he has to wait a certain amount of time before he can come into the country because of the quarantine measures, or that he's done his medical in France. I don't know. But everybody is saying it looks like we've beaten Man United and Napoli to his signature. I know the news outlets have thrown Man United, into this and saying that they put a bid in, which I don't think is the case. They have not bidded. I've seen any figures or any talk. They might have talked to the representatives, but they've not spoken to Lille whatsoever. So as far as I'm concerned, I just think this is just a smoke screen. And I said yesterday, it's just another, media clickbait thing that's going on. They're just newspapers wanting to get you to read their stuff and then get us into all a big frenzy about this and just get us into a panic. But I'm not panicking. As I said, let's hope. It doesn't look like it's going to get announced over the weekend, possibly Monday. So let's just look out for that with regards to that. Now, we was linked with a player very good player from Leon, Dusan Tadic, if I pronounced that right. I know everybody was having a difficult to pronounce his name. Fantastic midfielder. Now Edu has been in contact with Leon and even put in a bid. I think they were talking 44 million plus Guendouzi as a part of the deal. Leon has knocked that back, and there's there's reports that we are absolutely interested in him, and we have put in a concrete bid, but it's been knocked back. But then the news is coming out that actually his preferred destination would be Juventus. That's what he's saying. That's his preferred destination. I don't know whether Juventus have made any kind of concrete talks, whether that's with the club or with the players' representatives or not. We don't know. But what I would say is that Arsenal have put in a serious, in terms of whether they want to, get this guy or not. It seems like we're the only club so far that have actually, gone in and made a serious inquiry with regards to Usam. So who knows? He would be a fantastic addition to the club. A very good midfielder, attacking midfielder, that kind of plays in that kind of 8, possibly in that 10 role, box to box kind of thing, but very good player. I know Man City, Pep has, been looking at him for quite a long time, but it doesn't seem like, I keep getting these hiccups, sorry. Pep hasn't made any sort of real concrete inquiries about him at the moment, just kind of wine and dine him kind of thing. But, it would be good if we could get this player. But it seems as if Leon want more than the price that we are sort of looking at. And I think they're looking at more like £54 million. Now, we would need to raise a significant amount of money in order for that deal to go through. Not forgetting also other targets like Partey, who has a 43 or 46 million pound buyout clause, 45 million pound buyout clause, which we really need to also look at and see how we can raise the funds to get the player. So again, lots of things going on in the background. We might not hear. I mean, it just seems like the same thing that's being regurgitated time and time again, and you will obviously hear this a lot throughout the transfer daily as we do this daily in the next coming weeks and months. So for me, I know Arteta, is gonna go on a pretty much ruthless when it comes to getting rid of players. Up to 10 players. He wants to get rid of, and there's a possibility that the players that he's talking about, we can get some relatively half decent money for them, and hopefully that will be enough to raise the funds for our required targets. Now, as I say, it's gonna take a bit of time. I spoke about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Wolves are interested in him. The club down the road is interested in him. Newcastle are interested in him. You're looking at a £20 million possibly for him. You've also got Lucas Torreira. I think Torino now have come in. They want to do a loan deal with him, but Arsenal have rejected that. I think they just want money straight up, and I think we could possibly get a 25-30 million for him. You've got Bellerin linked with a number of clubs, Juventus for one. Again, these are people that we can make money off of. Mustafi, Socrates, I know Gattuso, wants to, he's begging Arsenal to buy him out of his contract and get him. But I think Arsenal will be looking to get some sort of money for him. Again, what sort of price? I've said something like 10 million. If we get 10 million for him, then absolutely great. But the likes of him, he looks like as I said, his days are pretty much numbered when it comes to Arsenal. You've got Holding, who's linked with Leeds. You've got Chambers, who's linked with Fulham. So there's a lot of plot. I haven't even got onto the majority of defenders. You know what I'm saying? That need to go, because if we do get Gabriel, then there has to be a number of defenders that will need to actually leave the club. So there's not much more to really talk about with regards to the transfers. As I say, we just got to hope that this deal with Gabriel, it just just stops going on, and we hear the announcement come Monday. Again, reports again in the papers. All papers are reporting. They seem to just latch on to the little parts of what Aubameyang did on his Insta Live, and we were saying that because he hasn't received the paper. I mean, I think he's just having banter with the people that he's talking with, his fans, and just because he said he hasn't received the paperwork, all of a sudden, there seems to be a threat to contract talks, and it could be held up, and it's not good news for the Arsenal fans. They don't want to hear this, and I'm thinking, mate, just because he just said he hasn't received the paperwork, that just could have been banter. But again, the newspaper just like to latch onto these little stories just to create stories to get us into, as you know, Arsenal fans, we get into a frenzy about the whole thing. I believe that a deal is in place. I think he's back in the country now. Obviously, pre-season's going to be starting and stuff like that. He's got to get ready for the charity Shield Cup coming up next week. So I think it is done, and it will get announced. Just one last thing, and that's Freddie Ljungberg. Just hearing today on Sky that Freddie Ljungberg has left the club. Now I don't know. Some people are speculating that he's been fired or whatnot, but I don't know ins and outs. But he's basically left the club. As a first team coach. I didn't really kind of see him, especially on match days. I didn't really kind of see him down at dugout level. He seemed to be sort of sitting more in the stands and just observing from far. You know what I mean, and being sort of the eyes for Arteta. But it looks like he's left, because I know he was integral to the youth team before he had to take over when I say take over, because Stewart Robertson, not Stewart Robertson. What's the guy? The defender that's now gone down. I can't remember his name now. If somebody could remind me of the assistant to Wenger, he's now taken over the youth team, and Ljungberg got promoted under Aubameyang. Not Aubameyang. I'm losing it. Emery. So he took over when Emery got sacked. I think for 2 games or so, 1-1. I think drew 1 and lost. But it seems as if he wants to now move on and just kind of look to get some managerial experience under his belt. He wishes the club all the best. I don't think there's been any real fallout, but I think he needs to really kind of go out himself and maybe go and manage at possibly Championship League, possibly League One level. You know what I mean? Go out there and do that. Probably can't see him going abroad because he's pretty much settled in England. So if he could go out and find possibly a Championship club or a League One club to kind of manage. I just think that when he came in, the nostalgia of having an ex-player, like Ljungberg, who's really been prolific for us throughout the years, come and take over Arsenal and knows Arsenal. He didn't really, do well. You didn't get that bounce, new manager bounce when he came in after Emery. So, we wish him all the best wherever he goes on to do his managerial career, and hopefully one day he'll come back to Arsenal and link up with, if it's Arteta or whoever. You know what I mean? I mean, there's rumours that that he's going. That there's a possibility that Cazorla could come in. Santi Cazorla could come in, but I think he's going to probably apply his trade. I think in one of the Arab countries. I think before he goes into management. So I think he's probably going to just play one more year of football before he looks seriously into management. But look, it is what it is. He's left the club now, and we wish him all the best. But anyway, just to end it, we just want to hear on Monday, Gabriel has signed it and end that saga. Aubameyang has confirmed and signed the new contract, and then we need to start getting some serious monies in for players that are now going to be surplus to requirements, and let us then get the players that we really need to get. And I'm talking about Thomas Partey. That's the man that we need to be going for next. If we can get him, then we are looking good for this transfer window. if we get a defender in, get an attacking or a combative midfielder like Thomas Partey and an attacking midfielder that can score goals, then we're in very good stead going into league, and hopefully we can make that top four for next season and then have money to then go out and buy better players. Listen, like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you on the next Transfer Daily. Take care.